A lot of society really denigrates and degrades the person who is alone in silence and quietness and can be content about it. It's really no secret that most people perceive the person that is alone to be the person that is unhappy. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have friends or people that we're building with, because I say that I don't have friends. I have people that I build with and I have people that I'm not building with. And the reason for that is because of my past and just my experience with people is I love people, but I don't trust them. I trust their actions, absolutely, but I don't trust the people because I know that I'm just as fallible and capable of being fallible as anybody else. But I strive to stay grounded in myself. And sometimes, especially nowadays, it just seems like most times you're trying to get a romantic thing going, it's just a distraction. And most people on both sides, male and female, from who I've talked to and my own experience as a man in the dating world, is that most people are just looking to catch and release or being, serial relationship people where they just kind of bounce from person to person. And I never understood that. I never understood how people could go from relationship to relationship to relationship. And, granted, being alone right now, I'm not really in an isolation season because I'm more surrounded by great people than ever, specifically online, and I'm networking and engaging with many people. But I find great sensibility and in solitude right now, and I have no love life. I'm not really talking to anybody right now. There was a few women that I was talking to, and we were talking, but things popped up and they made certain decisions that I saw, what? Meh, I'll just silently curve these women. And now, they're trying to get my attention even more and resulting to all different kinds of mind games to try to get it. And it's like, woman, you don't miss me. You just miss my attention. And you know how I know that I'm the best man that you can get is because I know that you can't manipulate me. And you're going to be able to go manipulate some other person that doesn't see through the games that I do. And maybe you want to work with them and they want to work with you in the relationship. Wish you the best, but that's not me. That's not who I am. I want to be who I am, and I want to lead the relationship, and I haven't just built myself into the man I am today to just let you tell me how to live my life when I wouldn't want to trade lives with you, even though you're attractive, woman. Even though you are attractive, I'm gorgeous. Okay? There's no need for you to think that you're on this high horse here. Okay? This is just my mindset when it comes to women now, because it keeps me in the driver's seat and I want to stay in the driver's seat. That's just how I like to live my life. And because I like to have I'm very stoic when it comes to my relationships. I don't get too high, I don't get too low anymore. I just, all right, noted. And I move on, like whatever the case is. Like even if it's, if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, I just, okay, cool, noted. And I move on. And I let myself feel the emotions that I do, but I'm honestly just chill being alone right now. And I've, of course, in the past, for anybody that's watched my videos for longer than a few months, has probably seen my video on celibacy and how I'm planning to be celibate for the rest of my life. And God commanded me to be celibate for the rest of my life, or to act as though I would be. He told me in a prayer, and this doesn't happen very often. I don't hear God's voice as a actual voice every single time I pray. It's usually in just really important messages that God wants to relay to me. And he said, "You are not to have a family or a wife." And I was really perplexed by this. This happened actually a year ago, but I didn't actually talk about it until about 6 months ago or so, because I really wanted to make sure I understood if this was really what God wanted for me. And I realized that this was something that God wants me to learn how to do. He wants me to live as if I'm going to be celibate forever. But that doesn't mean I should just keep my heart closed. It's that you can keep your heart open, but to close it off actually would be a detriment to your growth, because you can't really grow without pain. You know, some of the best times of my life were actually when I was the most heartbroken. And it's because I had all of these revelations about relationships and people and who women really were. You know, I'm not a red pill person. I don't really believe in the red pill. I think the red pill has its time and place, but it's almost like it's like a series, you know, it's like a level in the game of the Matrix. I think the red pill is still a part of the Matrix to some degree. Simply because if you were to follow everything that the red pill tells you to do, you would have no family. You would have no woman in your life that you can really grow with. And I think that that's in some ways, you know, perhaps you're limiting yourself. But me myself, I even asked myself the same question. Because it was God speaking to me. I have no doubt about it, because God's voice is a very particular voice when I hear God. And when I heard him, I thought to myself, what? I mean, I will do this, but why? Like, why? And he didn't answer me when I said why. He didn't answer. And I was left to kind of figure it out for the next 6 months after that. And I finally figured it out, and that's when I made that video, was I'm planning to be celibate for the rest of my life. And you know what? I really enjoy being able to really live life on my own terms right now. I am full on betting on myself in this moment, in this spirit of the time. I am fully betting on myself. I am believing in myself, and I have full faith in God that he's going to show me what I need to do no matter what. I'm a risk taker, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid about my risks. I'm calculative, and I'm going to strategically plan a way to get the most out of my experiences and get the most out of my life for what I can do. Because I understand that when I stopped trying to improve a lot of things in my life, that's when things actually started to improve. You know, I just started to notice, like, instead of trying so hard to be doing discipline with this or this or this, it's just like, my floor could use a vacuum. You know, I could clean up the floor a little bit. Okay. Oh, my shower's a little dirty. Okay, I'll clean the shower. Oh, okay, the sink is a little dirty. I'll clean the sink. I'm not like, okay, I have to clean at this day, at this time. I'm not doing it super specific like that. In my meditations, when I meditate, I still meditate every day, but I used to have a strict policy of, for the first like 3.5, 4 years of my meditations, and I've been doing it for like 7 years, 8 years almost now. And when I first did it for like the first 3.5, 4 years, I would wake up and I'd be doing the meditations at the exact same time, like every single day. And now it's more like I just meditate when I know my body needs to meditate and like recalibrate itself. I don't have a specific time. I'm just going with the flow. I'm literally being as a whole. And I have the great fortune right now to be able to pretty much work my own hours. So I'm waking up when I wake up. I'm going to sleep when I go to sleep. I'm eating when I'm hungry. I usually have like an 8-hour period for intermittent fasting. That's a pretty decent regimen. But you know, I'm just kind of flowing through life. But I'm not passive about it though. Everything that I do fully. But I'm spontaneous in everything that I do. And this has helped me live a more fulfilling life. because it's giving me the opportunity to be more in the moment. And if you're trying to have a plan, like there's nothing wrong with having a plan, but if something changes in a tomorrow or in a day or a couple weeks or um, in a month, and your plan is now there's clunks and clinks and uh, think about like a hose, right? And there's like a kink in the hose. If you can't, like, if you have a plan and it's going to create more kinks in the hose, you've got to change the plan. You've got to go moment to moment sometimes. And because if you're on the battlefield, for example, like if you're in a fight and you go in there and you're like, okay, I'm going to plan to fight like this and this, and you're getting your ass kicked, and you think, oh, well, I'm going to change, I'm going to continue to get my ass kicked because this is the plan. It's like, no, 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 no. If you're in a fight, you've got to change course. Okay, you've got to change the plan a little bit. You've got to change the tactics. You've got to adjust and adapt to win the fight, to keep that fire in your belly. And, I have a very stoic perception when it comes to this because I guess, I don't know, I really enjoy being who I am all the time. I don't like trying to fake things. And I understand that you need to play the game, right? I understand you need to play the game of life to some degree. But I also know that you become ungrounded when you're so caught up in balance. Like sometimes people, like there is a balance of life. Don't get me wrong, but like when you're so caught up in balance, it's like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do this. It's like, man, you're just, I don't know. It seems like this kind of goes in line with my video yesterday on self-improvement and how I'm retiring from self-development and all that. It's like, it's just not like the hustle and bustle of it all is just, it's sometimes just too much. And I'm definitely not saying you shouldn't have ambition or you shouldn't work toward your goals. I'm just saying that sometimes we get so accustomed to like go, go, go in the Western societies that we don't know how to chill. And then in the other parts of the world, it's like they're too chill that they don't know how to work. And so we're, depending on where you're at, socioeconomically as well as culturally, you're gonna have to determine, the right thing for you, and just be who you are, though, man. That's really the whole goal here is just be who you are. And in a relationship, especially with women nowadays, it's like you can't really do much without women wanting you to ask permission for it from them, or they're trying to tell you what to do. And it's like, do you even know who you're talking to? I'm not saying like I'm some superstar or whatever, but like, are you serious? Like, and what's funny is I was just on a call earlier today and we were talking about this on the call, how the most attractive women that I meet nowadays have the most respect for me and they treat me very well. The women that are not as attractive, they treat me like shit and they don't care, which is very strange to me. It's very strange because it wasn't always that way for me. It wasn't always that way. And now it's so funny how I'm getting to the point now to where all these beautiful women who seemingly have this like psychopathic urge and compulsive urge to want my babies are showing me so much more respect than these like land whales that think that they deserve the world because the government tells them that that's what they deserve. It's just, it's just funny to be in the situation now, and I'm not trying to be degrading. I'm just being real here. And so I've gotten to the point now to where, okay, well, what do we do now with these attractive women? Because a lot of them are very insecure. Like some of these women out here are very, very insecure. Some of the most attractive women that I've met are the most insecure. And I'm not trying to degrade. It's just that that's the fact of the matter. And I think a good start for a lot of women would just be to delete social media. The happiest women that I know are not on social media, or they have it limited to certain things like their Instagram. If they have an Instagram, only the people that uh, follow them, that, or excuse me, only the people that they follow, or whatever the case is, like they get control over who sees their content, right? Like you have to follow them and get approved or whatever to see their content. That's the kind of stuff that women need. Like that's women need that kind of social media where it's not just like, on everything on display all the time, because it just fries their brain, man. They're realizing that something is wrong and they just need to figure out what exactly that is and what exactly they need to do now to make the proper steps so that they can get to the place that they need to be in their life so that they can feel some fulfillment, because so many women are just, they're alone and yet they're surrounded by attention all the time, and they don't have healthy relationships with their family. And that's not always going to be an indicator of whether or not a woman is completely going to be able to be in a relationship with you, like, because there are outliers, but those are outliers for a reason. Sometimes, like, just generally speaking, that's going to be the case. But a lot of men have also just taken this route of, it's chill to be alone. It's chill. Like it's very freeing. And us men, we're meant to be kind of wild. We're not meant to be just hunkered down and secure all the time and safe. It's like being like a lion or a tiger in a cage after a while. It's like you want to be in the wilderness. You want to be out there and take risks and chances. And what does the Magic School Bus lady say? Take chances and make mistakes, because you're going to have to learn about those things one way or another, and you might as well do it when you're young and you have a lot to learn. You have an edge to you, and you're ready to take those risks and whatever kinds of consequences happen, because you know that you're betting on yourself, and you know that at the end of the day, if you can do what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. It's going to be very simple. What men do is very simple, but the way that we do things can be complex sometimes. Like it's absolutely a psyop that being alone is like considered weird. I genuinely believe that, because I've been alone, like single wise, pretty much my entire 20s. I've had relationships but weren't labeled with women in the past, but I haven't actually been with women like I haven't even dated a woman since I was like, we've called them hangouts and whatnot, but I haven't gone on an official date with a woman for years, probably 3 or 4 years. And again, we've like hung out and we've spent time together, but never actually going out officially. And what's interesting is I've always gotten better results that way. Like every single time, because I used to be like the date guy, like, oh, we have to go out on a date, like, because I was in the simp mode, right? Years and years ago, I was in the simp mode where I thought I had to pay to get a woman's attention. And now it's just my mere presence can turn a woman on. I can literally feel the heat in the legs of women sometimes. There was one woman, a little bit of a story time here. There was one woman who, at the time, she was 21, 22, and she was a new like marketing assistant type of person and like social media at this company that I was working with. And she had a long distance boyfriend, and he was gone in like Texas, and I'm in Utah, so it was like hundreds of miles apart, right? And I could tell that she was feeling me one day. Like she had stood over next to me to talk to me about certain things like in work and all that. And she had stood over right by my desk because she wanted to come to me. Like she always wanted to come to me, and I could literally feel the heat from this woman's legs as she and her other areas as she was standing next to me. And I could feel like her body heating up. And then when I looked at her, her face was like red and blushing. Like she was trying so hard not to hide it. And this woman was very attractive too. Like she was very attractive, but I couldn't do that. Like number one, in the workplace, uh, like I was a manager there and I didn't want to caught in any kind of whatever. And number two, she had a boyfriend. Like she had a long distance boyfriend. I didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to I don't need to take another man's woman. I just don't. And because I know that there's plenty of single women out there that are beautiful that actually want similar things that I do. We just got to filter them out, because I have met them. But usually those kinds of women are a little bit older and they are good women, but generally the women in 18 to 25, because I'm looking for a woman. If I had to pick my ideal woman, this is another reason why I'm alone and I'm just chilling. It's like if I had to pick my ideal woman right now, she would be 21 or 22 years old, and she wouldn't go to college. She would not be in college or university. She would be, working a steady job, doing whatever, like just ideally living with her parents still. And if she has a job, it's just part-time or whatever. It's nothing crazy. And she's not in a place where she's constantly around other people. And another aspect of her is that she would know how to cook. In their free time, she would cook and bake. And I don't feel like this is like a unicorn. Like, I don't really feel like it should be a unicorn anyway. But it seems like it is a unicorn. Like, in some ways, it feels like it is a unicorn. But at the same time, this is not a lot of, and obviously she follows Christ. Obviously, that's another thing. But those are very, very basic underpinnings, and I just have yet to find that kind of woman. Most of the women think that once they get a degree or something that they are on top of the world. Meanwhile, they don't realize that they still have the student loans to pay back, and their degree is not going to actually be the kind of use that it needs to be. I mean, I've seen women, this is a bit of a side note here. We're going into the side notes. I've seen women, the best salesmen that I've seen is women. And the women that are, they just know how to talk to people. They just know how to talk, be friendly, and they don't even need to be the most attractive. They just need to be friendly, cooperative, and they're like the best sales ladies. Like they are the best sales ladies. And that's not like a bad thing. I don't think having a job for a woman is a bad thing, but it's where stuff like what I saw in the workplace, where this woman who has a long distance boyfriend, she comes next to me and I can feel her body heating up just by being next to me. I'm turning her on just because of my presence. It's stuff like that where I'm like, a woman that I want to be with doesn't need to be in environments where other men like that are available, because it's not going to help the relationship. It's not because I'm insecure. It's that I'm not planning to hang out with anyone of the opposite gender. I'm not planning to hang out with anyone of the opposite gender, and they shouldn't plan to hang out with anyone of the opposite gender alone while we're in a relationship. And women just nowadays, most of them just don't get it because they've been liberated. And men, it's profound in in how men have responded. Like, they'll defend this kind of mentality and behavior, but for the most part, man, there's nothing better than coming home after the gym, getting some work done and making a meal, hitting the shower, whatever you need to do, chilling out, and on a Saturday night or something, maybe watch Lord of the Rings or something. Like, I enjoy that. Reading books at night. Right now, I'm going back through this, The Imitation of Christ. That's what I like to do. And it brings me peace, and it brings me solace. And when I go back out into the world and I see the clown show, I think to myself, okay, not yet. It'll happen, just not yet. Not today, apparently. And that's fine. That's okay. We don't need to be spreading our souls around anyway. We don't need to be giving our souls to everybody we meet anyway. But anyways, guys, I hope that this video was useful and insightful for you. Kind of went on some side tangents there. A little bit of a rambling and tangents, but I hope that it was informative and useful for you and insightful. And I hope that you all stay blessed and peace be with you. Until next time.